So I actually don't think this one is an overreaction, but I mean, I'm taking a very narrow view because I have a very specific way of how I think this game is going to go. And I think that the Rams' path to victory, they're going to need Matthew Stafford to be nearly perfect. Everyone is all over the Rams defense and, they're going to sack Burrow into oblivion. Again, we've said this a million times. Like, Joe Burrow is fantastic under pressure. I think Matthew Stafford is going to have to win this game. The one thing about the Rams, they cannot run the ball right now. Like, their running backs stink. They just haven't gotten any push or anything, any production from that unit. So I think Matthew Stafford is going to have to win this game. I will say that, like, if the Rams win, it's because Matthew Stafford has something like a 303 touchdown game. So no, I don't think this one is an overreaction. I think if you're looking at the Rams, you should be going over on Matthew Stafford props. I think that's their path to victory, and that has been their path to victory. They needed him against the Bucs. He had a good game against the 49ers. So no, I'll say this one isn't an overreaction at all.
Is it an overreaction, Pearce?
Yeah, I don't like the correlation. Matt touched on this earlier with Joe Burrow. If Stafford is throwing the ball a lot, if he's going for 300, 400 passing yards, multiple touchdowns, that means the rushing game is not working. It also means it's possible that their defense isn't playing that well either because they're having to compete and keep up. Again, with what I said with Burrow, same thing for Stafford. He can throw for 250 yards and 1 or 2 touchdowns. What he has to do is don't turn the ball over, don't get sacked. If he does those things, then I think the Rams are in pretty good shape and can just play good defense. But if he's piling up a bunch of stats, I don't think it necessarily correlates with the win.
Okay, Matt, I remember earlier you said that Burrow didn't necessarily need to light up the box score, right? What about Stafford, though? Does he need to do that?
Yeah, I don't really think so. It's kind of the thing Pearce just mentioned. I'm going to go back to this. I mean, Matthew Stafford's over-under for yards is 280 or so, and the Rams are still 2-1 favorites. So I think it's going to come down to, does Stafford make mistakes? And the more mistakes he makes, the more he's going to need to throw for, the more big plays he's going to need to have for the Rams to win. So yeah, I'm not really sure it's even been his fault that the Rams have had turnovers throughout the playoffs. Like the game against Tampa Bay, we had 2 Cam Akers fumbles and a snap that went over Stafford's head. 3 turnovers that he basically had nothing to do with. So if the team's going to do that to him, then yes, he will need a very, very large game to be able to win. But I would expect the Rams play a better game than this. I know we can talk about Sean McVay a lot, and we can say the Rams, won't be as prepared as some other teams might have been, but I think the Rams probably are in the driver's seat for this game and can play just pretty well across the board, and that's enough to win. But again, if Stafford makes a turnover or two, then yes, he will need a really, really big box score game to make up for that.